Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members. What my amendment does is that it brings the homeschool students under the same testing provisions that the students in our public schools have to take. So those instruments that are required under Section 39.023 for students enrolled in the equivalent grade level at the public school in which the student seeks to participate in the league activity would apply. Move adoption.
Mr. Schaefer, for what purpose?
Well, Mr. Thompson, yield for a question.
Gentleman, yield for questions?
Yes, sir.
Gentleman yields.
Representative Thompson, I just want to make sure I understand. Your amendment would require homeschoolers to take the STAR test, correct?
Whichever test is required by public school students under Section 39.023 would apply.
And that's the STAR test, correct?
Whatever test that would apply under Section 39.023.
And today, that provision requires the STAR test, correct?
Whichever test under Section 39.023.
Okay, just making sure we're expanding the STAR test requirements to homeschoolers. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Anchia, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield?
Does the gentleman yield?
Be glad to.
Gentleman yields.
Thank you, Representative Thompson. And I think I'm trying to understand the reason for this, but we have no pass, no place rules in this state, do we not?
Yes, we do. It was passed in 1984. I believe the 68th legislature passed House Bill 72, which provided for no pass, no play.
And so if a student is either not at grade level, unable to pass the norm reference test that their competitors are required to pass, that may be unfair. Is that right?
Yes. As many of you know, I officiated high school football for 40 years. And one of the things that the rules of the game are that you play both sides, you officiate the game on both sides of the ball. You don't give any unfair advantage to the offense. You don't give any unfair advantage to the defense. It's a level, fair playing field. And that's what I believe this amendment does, is that it provides for a level playing field. That's not unfair to anyone. And, if the field shouldn't be 50 yards for one side and 100 yards for the other. So that's what the amendment is intended to do. It's not meant to be punitive. I know I have a great amount of respect for Chairman Frank, and he and I disagree on policy in regards to this matter. But this is not about being punitive. It's about a level playing field and about a fairness issue that I believe is important.
And as a referee, you'll also likely know the history of many teams in Texas sports that have been disqualified or stripped of championships when they use ineligible players under no pass, no play. Is that right?
That's correct. There was a school district that actually were getting on the bus to go to a state championship football game and found out they had played some games with an ineligible player, and they actually had to not go to that game. They were the team that they had defeated the week before had to unpack all of their equipment that they had already packed up so they could go play in a state championship game because of that.
And so all you're saying here is, listen, folks, in the spirit of no pass, no play, we want to make sure we have a baseline of eligibility for public school students and homeschool students so that we don't have ineligible players or players that would otherwise be ineligible participating in a contest and possibly skewing the result. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. And one of the things, truthfully, that concerns me, and I think it concerns a lot of the coaches that I've talked to that have reached out to me about this, is, that a parent, for whatever reason, might decide to homeschool their child because they might be having difficulty in school, and this might be an opportunity for them to be able to participate in that sport without coming under the no pass, no play provision.
I appreciate your amendment related to fundamental fairness.
Thank you, sir.